Hey everyone, it's me Dennis. In today's video I'm going to be talking about breeding in Star Stable, which I know has been a pretty hot topic within the community because breeding is really fun and we want that. There's like a ton of videos on YouTube, like edits and concepts of breeding in Star Stable, and today I want to be talking all about why this is not going to happen and why we're not going to be getting this in the game. Before I do that, however, I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. 60% of you guys watching this video are now subscribed, and I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at DennisWhitestorm. Alright, let's get on with the video. So after doing some research, I've come down to two main points as to why Star Stable will probably never be adding a breeding system in the game. So number one is that Star Stable's vision had and has nothing to do with breeding. Star Stable's focus and emphasis was and still is on the storyline of the game, which is about a girl and her adventures in Jorvik, the sisterhood she's in, and her relationship with her horse. Now you might be asking, but Dennis, how is this hindering Star Stable from adding a breeding system in the game? They could just keep the focus on the storyline, while also adding the breeding system to make the game more fun. Well, since adding breeding in the game was never of interest or a goal for Star Stable, they went down the other path, of having diversity over the simplicity horse breeding games have. If we take a look at Rival Stars horse racing, Wild Shade, and Alicia Online, we see how every single horse is on the same model and breed. The only different thing is the horse's coat. Star Stable's trajectory and goal was pretty much the opposite. They went for different models, animations, and specific gaits for each horse breed. With the amount of energy and time Star Stable spends on the creation of each new horse breed they release, and with the amount of current horse breeds we have in the game as of right now, it would almost be impossible to implement a breeding system in the game. Star Stable wants each horse breed they bring into the game to look different, to have its own personality, and to resemble the real-life breed horse as accurately as possible. And yes, they might fail in that regard sometimes.
Please stop this madness. What do you want from me? What do you want? Please!
But ultimately, that's what they're aiming for. They don't want all horses to look the same like we see in all these breeding horse games. And realistically speaking, how would they even be able to add a breeding system with all these variation horse breeds and models we currently have in the game? What would come out of a Shire and a quarter horse? We don't have any crossbreed models in the game as of right now, and I doubt Star Stable would want to add that. Star Stable's process of creating a new horse coat takes a long time, as they want to make sure the coat's detailed well enough and that it resembles the real-life breed, and I'm excluding all the magical horses in this video. Now, there could be a solution to this, which is that Star Stable would allow us to breed only same breed horses, but this brings me to the second point, which is that Star Stable's main income is from horses. Why would they want us to breed our own horses instead of buying the horses they release? And let's be honest, if breeding would be implemented into the game, we would most likely buy a new horse once in a blue moon and just breed our own horses 24/7. Because breeding is so much more fun. And imagine how cool it would be to be able to put your horse up for breeding and for other players to pay you a certain amount of star coins to breed with your horse. Now, this all sounds exciting and awesome, but this would actually take away Star Stable's primary way of making money, and the only way a game can remain alive, up and running, is if it produces revenue. And this would take almost all of that from Star Stable. This is why we see so many new horses being constantly released in the game, and I know it's annoying, it is, because it feels like, the whole purpose of the game is just buying new horses and then logging off and being like, what am I supposed to do next? But it's the way they earn money, and bringing breeding in Star Stable could potentially kill the game, as it will lead to the players buying star coins less often, which would then lead the game to failure, which then will lead to the game being shut down, which we don't want. There could be a solution to this too, and we could pay for the foals we would get. If we don't like the foal we get, just discard it. Discard it, that's so funny. Just send it to somewhere, to pasture for example, and if you like the foal you got but don't have enough money to buy it, just have it wait for you in a stall or something, and when you have enough money, just pay for that. And one more way to actually earn money from this for Star Stable would be to actually spend a certain amount of star coins to even breed. So that could work, I guess. But all these ideas are very much a stretch, and Star Stable would actually have to put so much work and effort into this, and again, there's a huge risk they would lose money, which is something they definitely want to avoid. If anything, they want to find ways to make more money, to bring more revenue in their pockets, which makes sense. They're a company, they've got employees they gotta pay, and they want to grow. So, let's just stick to Rival Stars, let's just stick to Wild Shade, Alicia Online. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Wild Shade personally. I think that Rival Stars is a pretty cool and fun game when it comes to breeding. Bro, And it's a disappointment, pretty much. Oh man, oh no. One of these little aliens. Oh no, not the same code again. Why am I not getting any good horses, you know what I mean? This is the ugliest horse I've ever seen in my entire life. What is this horse? This horse is so ugly. The racing aspect of it, to me, it's really boring. The way you race in that game is not as exciting and maybe even challenging. I don't like the controls of that game. The breeding side of it, really cool. No, this is the ugliest rat I've ever seen. The rest, not my cup of tea. And when it comes to Wild Shade, I don't like mobile games. I don't like the style of the game, it's very cartoonish. And then Alicia Online, I love the racing aspect of it. Man, hit me one more time and you'll think of me for the rest of your life. It's really cool and really challenging and skill-based, which is something I really wish Star Stable will soon implement in the game, and they did promise us that they will update the racing system this year. Now, we all know how they are with promises, so I can't cling onto that and put my hope into this, that they're actually going to change that this year. So I'm just patiently waiting. And then with Alicia Online, the breeding is kind of messed up, as in it doesn't make any sense. It's a very old game that was taken by a team of enthusiasts that actually, enjoyed playing the game back when it was up and running. And I'm really grateful that these people actually took the game and are taking care of it and really updating it, which is amazing. So in conclusion, Star Stable is most likely never going to add breeding. There's way too many models and breeds in the game, way too many different animations specific to each horse breed that we have. We don't have a crossbred model. We don't have as many codes, and Star Stable put so much time and effort into each code. So then when we would breed, there would not be many codes we would be able to get because they wouldn't be as diverse, if that makes any sense. With Rival Stars, there's a million patterns and codes. With Alicia Online, there's not as many. And maybe Star Stable could do something like that. With Wild Shade, there's a million. There's a million codes. And many of them are very ugly, in my opinion. And then Star Stable's way of making money, as I've stated before, is by selling us their horses. So, they probably don't want us to get our hands on horses for free like that, by breeding our own horses. This is really sad, but if anything, Star Stable should have taken the breeding aspect into consideration right from the beginning when creating the game, because they didn't do that. They went in a total different direction, which was to bring as many new horses in the game that have their own each style, personality, and all of that. So it's pretty hard to add breeding now into the game. Let me know what you think down below in the comments of this. Let me know if you think that maybe Star Stable will actually find a way and add breeding. If you think that I'm right or wrong, and why. And let me know what other horse games you play. Let me know if you play Rival Stars, Alicia, Wild Shade, Equestrian the game, if you like those games and why. And maybe if you don't like them, just let me know. My channel has been and always will be a place of freedom of speech, so whatever's on your heart, on your mind, let it all out in the comment section. It's a safe space. I never talk about this, but I actually have a Patreon. If you guys want to support me there and the content that I make, I would really appreciate that. You don't have to do that. It's just if you want to show support, extra support, because you guys are already doing that. And I'm really grateful to you guys for that. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye everyone.